Wizards has done it. They finally made a Secret Lair with a limited print run, and oh boy did they make it a good one. We got a sneak preview of the November Secret Lair, and to say I'm excited is a little bit of an understatement. Everybody was so upset yesterday with the absurd $1,000 reserve list proxy cards that Wizards announced that most people didn't even notice they also announced a Secret Lair. This was no accident, by the way. We'll cover that a little bit later in the video. But first, we'll talk about all the information we currently have about the Secret Lair, review the art and the value of the cards, and then discuss why it could be a great purchase. Wizards announced the 30th anniversary Countdown Kit Secret Lair, which is a huge Secret Lair with 30 different cards, one from each year of the history of Magic. These aren't just supposed to be nostalgic cards, they're also supposed to be more powerful that saw success at the competitive tournament level. So far we have 7 of the 30 cards previewed, let's dive in. Shark Typhoon. Look at this bad boy. Since the first day this card was spoiled back in 2020, everyone has always called this card Sharknado in honor of the classic cinematic masterpiece.
Can't just wait here and wait for sharks to rain down on us.
The art of this card being a VHS tape is so fun and tongue-in-cheek. I absolutely love it. The details here are amazing. The mana cost presents the film. The card type of enchantment is a sticker. And even the Be Kind, Please Rewind poking out on the bottom right there as if this is a rental from your local Blockbuster. So good. Absolutely 5 out of 5 Raphaels. This is a $10 card that sees a ton of play in control decks and is a great way to start off this Secret Lair. Necro is here, and it is a death metal band. This card is epic and terrifying with all the bones and the flaming eyes in the skull. Absolutely brutal. Obviously, I have to give this a 5 out of 5. It's obligatory. This Ice Age classic has been reprinted a few times and is still holding for $36 in its cheapest version. The almighty Chrome Mox is an absolute powerhouse, one of the best mana ramp cards ever to be printed, as it's a call out to the original Moxes from the Power 9, and of course they got Dan Frazier to do the art on this beauty. Dan Frazier has recently done Secret Lair retro artifacts for the signets and the talismans, so it's very fitting they got the legend to give us this beauty. I really like the background of this art. It reminds me of the ocean floor. I'm just so happy. It would be an absolute crime to give this retro Dan Frazier artifact anything less than 5 out of 5 Raphaels. This is an $80 card with premium versions being $100 or more. People are going to want this card forever. Birthing Pod. Look at this creepy little monster. We've got some fun full art, comic book style art with a more simple background that uses a lot of blank space, which is cool and unique. I'm going to be a little mean and give this 3 Raphaels, which still isn't even a bad rating. Not because I don't like the card or the art, but compared to these other cards in the Secret Lair, I feel like I have to shift the entire scale. This modern band artifact is $17 for the original and $50 for the Judge promo, which might be closer to where the price of the foil Secret Lair lands. Does this also mean Wizards is going to unban Birthing Pod in Modern? Let the conspiracies begin. Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Boy, oh boy, do I need this card. Elspeth, Sun's Champion was my first Planeswalker I ever opened as I was getting back into Magic during Theros with my college roommate. We didn't even know how Planeswalkers worked. Well, now you do, because this retro version of the card explains the rules in detail. And if she loses all her loyalty, she abandons you. How cool is that? I love this. I love the retro frame. I love the art. Of course, Elspeth is wielding God's End, as she should be. Very, very special. It goes without saying, 5 out of 5. The original version of this card is still holding strong at $15, and the dual deck version is about $9. Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh. What better way to honor the biggest, baddest villain than to make him look like a creepy little baby alien? Yeah, I'm real scared, Nicol Bolas. This card isn't really my style, but I don't hate it. It is pretty fun and it's unique. It is a full art card, so we'll give it 3 Raphaels. This Hour of Devastation callback is an itty bitty $3 card. The almighty Bloodbraid Elf is here and she is a beauty. The bright and vivid colors here are really nice. Of course, you can see some of her tattoos, which is pretty cool. I really like that they just did the mechanics with no reminder text. The simplicity of that is a great touch. 5 Raphaels for this Jund Classic. Once upon a time, Bloodbraid Elf was banned in Modern, and then unbanned and saw a ton of play. Now, we have Ragavan, so why would you play a 4-drop creature? Bloodbraid Elf is only a 50-cent card, but this will be a great addition to any cube. These 7 beauties are the only cards we have so far. We'll be getting the other 23 later this month. I'll be doing a follow-up video on the whole Secret Lair once we get them, to make sure you catch that video, subscribe right now, and join the Wolfpack. This Secret Lair goes on sale November 1st, but it is a limited print run, something I've been advocating for some time. Why did they do a limited print run for this one? It's so that they can ship and get to your door by November 1st, so that way people can do a Christmas countdown or a New Year's countdown or any holiday countdown. You're opening one of these secret lairs per day for 30 days. The timing of this secret lair in relation to the holidays is absolutely genius. It allows Wizards to capture the early Christmas shopping season before the Black Friday madness starts. Retailers and companies who make consumer goods are not idiots when it comes to fourth quarter sales. Wizards knows that those of us who shop early and buy this early Christmas gift are going to come back around later in the season and buy more stuff from Wizards as the holiday season progresses. Let's talk about the price and the value of this crazy secret lair. We have a record-breaking $150 price tag for this secret lair, which is really, really high. That being said, I still think it's going to sell out. Why? Because Wizards is not messing around. With just these 7 cards, we have over $160 worth of value. Now, there's no doubt that Wizards is front-loading the value of this with the Necropotence and the Chrome Mox, but that being said, even if we get a bunch of little cheap cards, like for example in year 1 they could do Llanowar Elves, and that's a card that's only worth pennies out on the open market. Even with a bunch of cheap cards, they are targeting tournament cards that have seen success in structured play and in competitive play, so it's easy to assume that there's going to be a fair amount of cards that are maybe in that $3 to $5 range, and there could be another handful of cards that are $10 plus. If we see $200 or $250 worth of cards in this $150 secret lair, everyone's going to want to buy them. Even if you can't afford them, you can just open it, keep the cards that you want, and then sell the ones you don't want to get this for effectively free or at least a really reduced price. Also, something unique and cool they're doing with this secret lair is that 30% of them will be foil, but you don't know what you're going to get when you buy it. So it does add that little gambler's premium of knowing, hey, maybe I get a foil one, and then we get a multiplier on all these cards. They're all worth even more. All that being said, $150 is still a decent chunk of money for people to part ways with, even if you're getting well over that in your singles. But as we said at the start of this video, this was announced alongside the record-breaking, anger-producing reserve list proxy cards that are on sale for a whopping $1,000. This price is so absurd that $150 by comparison starts to sound like a bargain. Well, you know, I can't afford these alpha proxies, so I guess I'll buy this secret lair instead. This is called price anchoring, and it is not an accident. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and taken a look at the menu and think, whew, the $50 seafood platter, who buys that? Well, actually, usually not a lot of people, and that's not really why it's on the menu. Yeah, if the restaurant sells it, they're not sad about it, but the reason it's on the menu is to serve as a reference point for our subconscious brains to draw a comparison to, and then come to a conclusion that, hey, maybe $25 isn't so bad for spaghetti and meatballs. This is exactly what Wizards is doing here. It's very obvious and transparent, but what's so crazy about the price anchoring effect is even when you know about it and try to counteract it, it still works in your brain. It's psychology and it's crazy. If you think you want this secret lair, make sure to set an alarm because this is only going to be available for 72 hours or until they sell out. My money's on the latter. Now, it is impossible to predict how long it's going to last as we don't even know all the cards yet, we don't know the size of the print run, and we don't know what order limits Wizards is going to set on the website. Personally, I hope that they configure the print run and order limit in a way that allows this sale to run for at least 24 hours. That'll give most people the chance to buy this at retail and not have to go and pay a premium to scalpers who want to sell this in late November. Inevitably, there will be people who buy these and flip them a few weeks later, and there'll be people willing to pay that premium price because they missed the sale for any number of reasons, or maybe they didn't even know about it in the first place. But hopefully that number is kept to a minimum because the sale didn't die after like 10 minutes or something just crazy like that. Normally, this isn't a factor for secret lairs because the print run is done after the sale is complete and it matches the number of sales, but this time, we're going to the jungle, baby. When we look at this from an investment perspective, there's a really good chance this thing succeeds both in the short term and the long term. I mean, we've already seen crazy good value, which is only going to go up as we reveal more cards, and hopefully most of these or all of them just have killer art. But because we do have a limited print run on such a cool, unique product, part of me just wants to think, let the people win. Let's keep this sale alive for a long time and, keep that order limit to like 2 or 3. Something just small and simple where it's, hey, people can buy some, maybe they open some to add their collection, maybe they want to keep some sealed, and maybe it's because they want to sell it, or maybe just because they like the idea of having sealed product, thinking this thing hasn't been touched, it is pure, it's going to be packed fresh one day when it does get opened. Personally, if we are allowed to buy more than one of these, yeah, I probably will, but I can't really see myself not taking that first one and opening it up and sleeving these cards up to add to my decks.